Hello. Well, I'm going to be. Thank you very much. You're so kind. We're going to meet our first guest, and I am telling you, man. She's I don't know whether the word is right. Culinary artist, and she cooks amazing food, and she packages Ghanaian food like you've never seen before. Folks, now, who's behind all these things? Why is she doing this? This is somebody who was at the Columbia University 4 years, international studies. Put your hands together. Let us welcome Selassie. Selassie Atadika. There we go. Right.
I use some chocolates, not wache, but.
Oh, this is chocolate.
Chocolates.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey, show some love, man. She's in the house, and we're going to take a short commercial break when I look at my Midonu chocolate, and when we come back, the conversation will begin. Stick around, we'll be right back.
We're just getting started. The KSM Show will be right back.
All right, we are back, and so much a pleasure to see you. I saw some of your stuff on Facebook, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, but even before we get into that, this is Midonu chocolates, Ghana?
Yeah, chocolate. So one of the things that coming back to Ghana, everyone kept saying, well, Ghana is so well known for chocolate, you know, so why don't we see more finished products from Ghana?
Okay.
And so this is actually a ginger truffle. It's kind of a classic for us.
It's called a ginger truffle?
It's a ginger truffle. So it's chocolate, and we've added ginger to it, because Ghanaians just love ginger. Yeah. So that's what we decided to do, is a ginger truffle. But we have a line of chocolates that uses different ingredients, all local. We have a Ghana 5-spice, which has different Ghana 5-spice chocolate.
5-spice chocolate?
Yeah, so it's
really?
got even wintia and pricasse is all inside the chocolate.
What do you have in it? Yeah, pricasse?
Pricasse, wintia, there's
Yeah.
That all of those in chocolate.
Wintia or something.
Yes.
It's all in the chocolate?
Yes.
So tell me more about this. I mean, this is like the local stuff that we use every day.
Adding value.
You're adding value to it.
Yeah, so it's like, what can we do with what we have around us that we're not really just finding new ways to appreciate what we have.
When did this idea come about? That when did you decide, let me repackage the regular stuff that we do?
It wasn't like one day. I've always loved cooking. I've always loved food. And my first career was actually as a humanitarian worker. I did a lot of work around Africa. And I met a lot of people. I ate a lot of food. And I just said, people need to know about all the stuff that we have. And we ourselves don't really know what we have sometimes. We don't know what is eaten in Kenya, or we don't know what's eaten in different parts of Southern Africa. So it's how do I tell the story of some of the people that I've met along the way? And how do I make sure that people know what Africa has? Because I think one of the things that we don't see in the international scene is African food out there. We see a lot of other food. If you're in Accra, you'll see lots of great restaurants, but when you think of great restaurants, we don't usually, we eat at home, maybe. We eat at home and we eat at chop bars, but in terms of taking our food, white tablecloth, what can we do with it? For me, it was something that I just met a lot of people that were like, yeah, we've heard about African food, but we don't really know it. We're not really sure about it. And I really wanted to see how to show them what we have and the best of what we have. Yeah.
So, it's a love, man. So it's not just the packaging, though. There's so much you're doing differently. Well, I guess it's all the packaging, but where do you sit down and, like the oto, This is the regular oto with pear that we know of. What do? You sit down and decide, let me do it differently, and how?
Yeah, my inspiration comes from different places. So for that one, I just come back and I was spending some time with some of my aunties, and it was one of my auntie's birthdays. So I was over there and I realized really everyone does have it for their birthday. And so when I was preparing for this last dinner, we did Ghana at 59. And I said, what are we going to do for that dinner? And I said, we have to have oto.
Okay.
It's Ghana's birthday. We have to have that dish. So I said, how else are we going to present it in a way that, will just make it shine?
Yeah.
And the idea just kind of came to me, and we started trying it out, trying different versions of it until finally something worked. So we do a lot of research and development, if you will, in the kitchen, just playing around with different ideas. We've done some things that have worked, some that have not worked, and yeah.
What's the typical Ghanaian reaction? Like they see the wache like in cubes, and are they excited about it? Are they saying, oh, wache, What kind?
There are a couple. I think the initial reaction some people say is, "What is this?" And then you say it's wache. Oh, our wache doesn't look like this.
Okay.
So I did actually a food fair where someone gave me that reaction, and he was like, "My wache doesn't look like this." And I said, "This is our wache." So he took a bite and he was like, "Okay, this is our wache." Yeah. So it's putting it in the But I think size, we're used to, larger portions.
Yeah.
So a lot of our events and dinners are multi-courses. So, maybe 4 or 5 courses. So it's, plate after plate after plate. So each one has to be
As opposed to the traditional African dinner, it's one huge plate and, you have in smaller portions and more variety.
Exactly. So the idea is really to allow you to enjoy the food. So when you eat normally, the first 3 bites of anything you take is actually the most pleasurable, because that's when you really get to taste everything.
Yeah.
So the idea about having courses allows you to really enjoy and taste the food. And it also allows you to talk to the people around you. You're not getting up to go to the buffet, but you're really sitting down and having a conversation and just enjoying it. Yeah.
Wow. Let me midunu, is it midunu?
It's short for vamidunu.
Vamidunu. What does
Come let's eat, never.
Oh, come let's eat.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Vamidunu.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, what you do is you organize eating sessions, and people come and enjoy it. Do you have
We have a couple different aspects to what we do. So the first one you're discussing is the nomadic dinners. So one of the things I wanted to do was allow people the opportunity to try different types of cuisine from Africa, as well as maybe go to different parts of Accra that they haven't been to. Coming back, I realized that everyone kind of has their zone. I work here, I live here, and you kind of spend time in those zones, but we sort of don't get to see the whole city a lot. So the dinners are in different locations each time with a different theme. So in January, we had a beach one. It was one of the beach hotels, Fia Hotel. We used their beach, and it was right by Ministries. And at the end of the dinner, actually a sea turtle crawled onto the beach and joined us, actually. But that one was, it was during the Sahel, the Harmattan. So the theme was Sahel. So the food was
the theme was Sahel?
Sahelian cuisine. So it was Senegal, Mali, and Niger. I've actually spent time in some of those countries, so I wanted to bring some of those flavors to introduce them to people in Ghana. The last one was in March, and that was Ghana at 59. So it was a Ghanaian menu. We had oto, we did tuo, we did the masa pineapple, and so it's really just taking our food, bringing it into a different light, and just having an opportunity. It's also, I realized by the end of most of those dinners, people are exchanging business cards and phone numbers. So.
Who's your target mostly when you do these? Is it open to the public?
Yeah, we send it out to our mailing list and also on social media. Whoever is interested can register and come to the dinners. Most of the clients that come are, I would say, there are a lot of there are expats that come, there are returnee Ghanaians that come, and Ghanaians that are just curious. Just they want to see what it's about. So. Yeah.
And and when is the next one?
Most likely the 14th of May, and the theme is Ethiopian.
Ethiopian.
Yeah, I was recently in Ethiopia with my family, and so we decided, I spent time, I took some spices, and I spent time learning about their food, and I've tried to distill it into a 4-course meal.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, you went to you're doing international studies?
Yeah, I started off. I did. My first degree was in geography. And then I studied international affairs at Columbia, and started working for the UN. I did humanitarian work, and basically a lot of natural disasters, a lot of man-made disasters, and doing support. So. Angola, Liberia, South Sudan, spent time in Central African Republic just before the coup d'etat. So it's like a lot of time spent in places where... Trouble spots, but also places where maybe people don't know enough about what is going on there, or people are don't know much about their culture or their food. And so for me, one of the biggest things about food is it tells a lot about the people's culture. And through that, you can experience what people eat, why they eat the way they do, and understanding more about that. So even coming back to Ghana, going through some of the traditional dishes, I've spent time with my aunties and friends and people. And the last dinner we had wagashi, and people were like, wagashi, what's wagashi? And I said, it's a local cheese. So a lot of people are like, in Ghana we have local cheese. I'm like, yeah, it's a Fulani cheese. It's a local cheese. So there are things that we have that we don't even get to see anymore. So
I've had wagashi. And I didn't know it's local cheese. I just knew I was having something called wagashi.
Yeah.
But it is cheese.
It's cheese, yeah. Yeah.
So are you going to set up eventually like a place where people come and just experience these foods, or you want to keep it nomadic? And
the nomadic part is always going to sort of be the same.
Okay.
I think it has something that allows for people. In a normal restaurant, you would never talk to the person sitting next to you unless you came with them. So this is actually an opportunity to create a community. And so for me, that's something that's special and unique, and I would like to maintain that. We do private events, so people have private dinners, corporate events, things like that, weddings, etc. So we do sort of private dining and catering services in that way. We also have things like the chocolate and other retail products that we're going to have coming out, like some of the spices. That we want to, show the rest of the world what are African spices and Ghanaian spices. What do they look like? So that's kind of the focus in terms of setting up. I don't know, like a brick and mortar. That's something that we're looking at.
Okay.
But we need to figure out how to keep it unique. And different, because I think that's what
that's
keeps
the strength
it fresh.
of it now. Yeah. How much of your stay abroad, is factored into this? Because this is like really recreating something that has always been there, but adding so much value.
I would say that it's interesting because when I was younger, I really wanted to become a chef. I wanted to go to culinary school before I started doing my master's. And both my parents are lawyers, and so it was like, really, seriously. So it's taken time, but I actually think that the work that I did in Africa has turned me into the chef that I am today. Without all those experiences, I don't think I would understand and value the food the way I do. I also think that coming back to Ghana, it gives me fresh eyes to see our food in a new way. In my kitchen, a lot of my staff are always like, oh, we don't do it like that here. That's not how we know. For example, basil, I think in Ghana we call it the chicken spice. I use it in the dessert, like the dessert with the masa. There's basil in there. And they're like, we don't use it. No. So it allows me to see things with a fresh eye.
I see. And how difficult is it to explain to them that this is new and we want to try different things?
I think they're okay with me now.
They're cool now.
They understand me now.
No,
there's always a few minutes at the beginning of every conversation where they're kind of looking at me funny. But after we've tried it, they get it and they understand it. And actually, what I've actually pushed them on is I'm saying to them, I want you guys to give me the list of your favorite Ghanaian dishes. And I want you guys to have a conversation about how we're going to change it for the next Ghanaian menu, which will probably be in September. So in September, around Founders Day, we're probably going to have our next Ghana menu. And I'm like, I want us to make sure we really do justice to our food.
What's the most radical thing you've done with food? You think Ghana food?
I would say we turned tosafe into pasta.
Tosafe into pasta?
Yeah.
Wow.
We made noodles with it, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Oh, that's so cool, man. Show some love, man. And so other than creating great food and all the things that you do, how else do you relax? Or is it the food that...
The food inspires me. It keeps me going. I think that for me, the next 6 months, 8 months, the next couple of months, what I really would love to do is start traveling more around Ghana. The stories come from the people. So I'm actually just a conduit for information in a way. I would love to just get out there, see what people are doing, understand more about some of the techniques that we use in Ghana for smoking fish and drying and salting. There's a whole historical background behind it, and we need to understand it to also see how to use it today. Not just understand how it was used, but how can we still continue to use it today. So there's that, and then just...
Wow. And by the way, this is lovely, man. I couldn't help but start, man. Chocolate in Japan, a kakadroom, and easy. Wow, wow. And are you married?
No.
No?
No.
Really? I have to ask because the audience always, you didn't ask them whether they were
Okay,
single
yeah.
or, are you single and unattached or you are?
I'm single.
And unattached?
I'm single.
Great, great,
Yeah.
great. And so, that's great, that's great. That's
One of the things that I hope to do maybe by next year is start working also on food advocacy.
Okay.
Because I think that we have food in Ghana, but we need to talk more about where our food comes from and where will we still have food, enough and sufficient food in the next 20 years? Will we have fish for, fresh fish in Ghana? You know, there are fish that my dad used to eat in his village when he was growing up that...
They're no more.
Yeah, no. So, you know, how are we going to manage that situation? What are we going to do? What can we do? Okay. How do we make sure more of the Ghanaian plate is from Ghana? Okay. You know, when you look at rice and chicken, most of that dish is not from Ghana. You know, the chicken's probably not from Ghana and the rice is not from Ghana. So how are we going to make sure that we're able to feed ourselves?
Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, before you leave, is there any number that you want to leave or contact or Facebook? Any information? Anybody wants to know more about this?
Absolutely. For our website, it's www.midinu.com.
Okay.
Facebook is also Midinu.
Okay.
We're also available on Instagram. So you can get onto our Facebook or onto our website and then join our mailing list. And also our Instagram account, we let you know what's going on, our next events.
Okay. Now all the information is on your screen right now. This is Midinu, and they're doing fantastic, and I think it's the next level, man. And so check it out and then get in touch. Selassie, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's been wonderful. And just let them know that this is mine so they don't come and quarrel with me.
Absolutely. We'll bring some more by.
Okay.
Okay.
Anytime.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Stick around, we'll be right back. Yeah. Okay, folks, stick around. Coming up next in Pring Pring. I'll tell you why I said that in a few minutes. Stick around, we'll be right back.